Way to go, WWE. Way to fucking go. Way to shit the bed last night. So right away is up front here. I'm just going to apologize for this review because it's going to be pretty lopsided. There's one major topic I want to talk about. It's the topic that everybody's talking about. Daniel Bryan not winning the Royal Rumble, not even in the Royal Rumble. After all, didn't get in anyhow. Nobody got injured. He stepped in to take their place at some point. Fucking bullshit. And you know what? That crowd let them know it. The WWE, Vince McMahon, Triple H, they took a big fucking diarrhea shit and tried to present it to the crowd. And you know what? That crowd put them in a fucking armbar, dropped them down to their knees, and rubbed their own faces in their own pile of shit. And it was awesome. It was absolutely amazing. You know what? I want to throw some visuals your way. I'm going to bring this up on the screen to cover up my pretty face here so that you guys can see it. Boom. There it is. WWE's poll on their website. I just took a screenshot of this. I didn't fucking actually go to the website because I don't want to give them any of my traffic. They're not getting any of my internet traffic. Fuck them. Did you enjoy tonight's Royal Rumble? Look at that gigantic thumbs down versus thumbs up ratio. 2.4 thousand to 832. That is fucking ridiculous. And this was like right after the show ended. I can't imagine what it's like now, but I refuse to go to that fucking WWE website. Not getting my fucking views. Let me throw another picture at you. Are you ready for this? Boom, here we go. This is from Mick Foley's Twitter account last night, right after Royal Rumble went off the air. Does the WWE actually hate their own audience? I have never been so disgusted with a pay-per-view. That's right. That's coming from Mick Foley. Here's a guy that would lick Vince McMahon's hairy, sweaty nutsack if Vince asked him to. And he is coming out on Twitter and social media platform and blasting this fucking company for ignoring their audience. And not only that, but Mick Foley wrote up an entire, 5 or 6 paragraph article on this fucking shit. He's gonna throw a brick through his fucking TV, and I believe he's probably gonna record it and put it up on YouTube or somewhere. So you want to keep an eye out for that. I'm gonna put a link to that article in the fucking comment section or whatever, the description of the video, so you can check that out if you want. But yeah, when you got Mick Foley telling you that you're a fucking retard for not listening to your fans, well, guess what? You might want to start thinking maybe it's not just a handful of people here and there. It's not the minority. Last night, it was the majority. Let me throw one more visual at you. You ready? Here we go. This is from Daniel Bryan's Twitter account right after the show ended. It says, "Sorry guys, the machine wanted me nowhere near the Royal Rumble match, but I thank everyone for their support. You are the Yes Movement." So he's still staying within character, within the storyline, but still laying it out there about what really happened. WWE didn't want him in that match. Somehow, WWE thought it was a fantastic idea to just keep him out of the Rumble match. That people would somehow forget he was there, and they would be in ooh and ah of Batista's big shoulders and biceps. Well, guess what? That didn't fucking happen. So let's quickly go through the whole card here. First off, pre-show, New Age Outlaws defeated Cody Rhodes and Goldust to become the new tag team champions. It's going to lead into a Goldust versus Cody Rhodes feud, especially with what happened between the two of them in the Rumble match later on in the show. The opener of the pay-per-view, Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt. This was absolutely the best match of the night by far, and a lot of people are saying it's like a contender for one of the best matches of the year already. And this match was pretty fucking spectacular. I mean, the crowd was so into it. They were hanging on every single move, every single motion that took place in this match. The crowd was just on their seat, on the edge of their seat, like anticipating, rooting for Daniel Bryan, booing Bray Wyatt to heel. That's how it's supposed to be. This is big fucking time. And this is great stuff. There was a tornado DDT from the apron to the outside of the ring. That was pretty fucking cool. There was a huge clothesline from Bray Wyatt that Daniel Bryan sold like a son of a bitch. He sold the shit out of that clothesline. At one point, Bray Wyatt caught Daniel Bryan off the suicide dive through the ropes right into the Sister Abigail onto the barricade. That shit was badass. That was pretty fucking cool. To win the match, Bray Wyatt pulls him in. I think right after that, hit the Sister Abigail again and won the match. So, I predicted Daniel Bryan to win this match, and it sucks that he lost again and that this motherfucker just keeps losing. However, I have seen a lot of comments lately about how people are upset with what's going on with the Wyatts, how they have lost a lot of their tag matches lately, and Daniel Bryan just one-upped and beat the fucking shit out of Bray Wyatt just a few weeks ago. So, looking at it as to whose character could take the loss better, obviously it's Daniel Bryan. If Bray Wyatt would have lost that match last night, that would have been a very heavy blow to his character and the credibility of his character at this point. So Bray Wyatt winning the match, yes, I can understand that. Still, it fucking sucks that Daniel Bryan had to deliver the clean loss to Bray Wyatt. It just fucking sucks that they do not protect Daniel Bryan. Alright, Big Show versus Brock Lesnar was next. I love the way this happened. WWE executed this fairly well. Brock Lesnar comes in, before the match even starts, he just takes down the Big Show, does his double leg takedown, beats the fucking shit out of him with a chair, and will not stop. Goes on for a long time until the ref steals a chair from Brock Lesnar. Finally, the bell rings to start the match, and Big Show KO punches Brock Lesnar. Which, okay, it's a good way to have Big Show get the shit beat out of him, but still sell that he can go up against Brock Lesnar. I understand what they were doing there. And then Brock Lesnar comes back from that, and he hits the F5 in the end for the win. So it was short, it was sweet, had a lot of action, a lot of brutality in it. However, I did not like the way the announcers portrayed Lesnar, especially this one line by Jerry Lawler, where he said, basically, Lesnar attacked Big Show before the match started because he knew he couldn't beat the Big Show one-on-one in the match. Are you fucking kidding me? I've seen Brock Lesnar destroy the Big Show in the ring before. They don't even bring that up at all. They act like these two have never even met before. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is so fucking stupid that they ignore previous matches like that. But other than that, the match was pretty good. Afterwards, Lesnar grabs the chair again, goes through like 2 or 3 chairs. He breaks those fucking chairs, beating the shit out of the Big Show. Which, that was great. Great showing Lesnar, pissed off. This is what happens when you piss Brock Lesnar off. I like that, but it got a little too repetitive with those chair shots for me. Went on a little too long with that. And I have to believe that if this were not the PG era and they had a TVMA rating or whatever the rating was before, they would have been able to do more stuff in that spot right there. Alright, up next, John Cena versus Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight title. This crowd was booing the fucking shit out of John Cena as soon as his music hit, before it hit, after his music had ended. They were booing the shit out of Cena. As soon as the bell rings, you get boring chants. You get Daniel Bryan chants. This shit was awesome. Went on throughout the match. Huge Cena sucks chants. Massive Daniel Bryan chants. Yes chants. You can't wrestle chants. The crowd eventually started fucking around at this point, saying everything under the sun. I don't even want to talk about this match. This match was fucking stupid. Cena kicked out of everything. He kicked out of every finisher under the sun and had Randy Orton beat like 3 fucking times in the match. It was ridiculous. They did everything they could to protect Cena in this loss. It's almost like he didn't lose the fucking match at all. Towards the end, we had a We Want Divas chant, and at one point, we had best chant, This Is Awful. Whereas in the Daniel Bryan match, you had This Is Awesome chants repeatedly. In this match, you had This Is Awful chants. And it was fucking amazing. Wyatt's come out right at the end of the match, right before Randy Orton's about to tap for like the 12th fucking time. And then they attack John Cena, which causes him to lose the match, because then Orton hits the RKO after that and gets the pin. This is like the 20th RKO that Cena takes during the match. Then we get the Royal Rumble match itself. Real quick, I'm going to run through some highlights that I took down as the match progressed. So you got CM Punk, Seth Rollins, they opened the match. Sandow was the first guy eliminated. I didn't see that coming. Alexander Rusev, I believe is how you pronounce it, comes from NXT at number 6. I don't watch NXT. I don't really know who this guy is, but as far as I understand, there's a lot of people out there that like him. There's a lot of people out there that do not like him. So he had a fairly decent showing in the Rumble match, though. Kofi Kingston did his yearly Royal Rumble spot by not getting eliminated, except this time he did two. First, he leapt from the barricade to the ring, which was pretty fucking awesome. And then later, he was holding onto the bottom rope with, like, his tiptoes, like, leaning over the apron, and used Jack Swagger's boot to beat Swagger in the head and pull himself back up. Those are both pretty cool spots. You have Kevin Nash coming back as a surprise entrant at number 14. I was not surprised. I was not impressed. I was fucking annoyed, but I'll save that for later. Roman Reigns completely annihilated Dolph Ziggler with a spear. Goldust eliminated Cody Rhodes by accident, I believe, and then he was immediately thrown out after that, I think, by Roman Reigns. So possibly playing into a Cody Rhodes Goldust match for Mania again right there. Oh my god. Fucking El Torito comes in at number 20 in the Rumble, and this is fucking bullshit. El Torito gets into the Rumble match, but Daniel Bryan doesn't. Get the fuck out of here, man. Just get the fuck out. JBL comes in at number 24, gets immediately eliminated by Roman Reigns. Yeah, Batista, the biggest name, what WWE thinks is the biggest name in the Rumble, comes in at number 28. And then here we go. The end of the match, okay? Number 29 comes out. Crowd starts chanting for Daniel Bryan. Chanting, yes. The countdown starts for the number 30 entrant. People aren't chanting 10, 9, 8 like they were the whole fucking night. They were chanting yes, yes, yes as each number ticked by. It got to 0. Who comes out? Big fucking troll. It's Rey Mysterio coming out. Now, you knew he was in the match because he was one of the announced guys. I knew he was the guy that was coming out last, but I was just hoping that maybe something happened to Rey Mysterio backstage. He wasn't going to make it out, and Daniel Bryan was going to come out. Nope. Here comes Rey Mysterio, and this guy gets fucking booed. They booed the shit out of Rey Mysterio. They completely destroyed him. And then you get more Daniel Bryan chants. What happened at the end of this Rumble was amazing. There was so much talent in the ring with Mysterio and Sheamus, Roman Reigns and Batista, all these big fucking guys. Rollins and Ambrose were still in at that point. Nobody gave a shit. CM Punk was still in there. All these guys in the ring, and people were booing all of them because they wanted Daniel Bryan in there, and he wasn't even entered into the match. And that pissed off almost the entire fucking crowd. They booed. They chanted Daniel Bryan. They didn't even react to any of the spots or guys getting eliminated in the match at this point, except for when Dean Ambrose tried to eliminate Roman Reigns, and then Reigns eliminated Ambrose and Rollins at the same time. That's the only thing they really popped for at the end of the match after all the guys are out there. Other than that, they booed the fucking shit out of what was happening. They were booing the Rumble match itself and all of the remaining participants. The crowd cheered when Mysterio got eliminated. They were booing the shit out of Batista. Because at this point, when Daniel Bryan didn't come out, it was decisive. Foregone conclusion. You knew who was going to win at this point. It was going to be Batista, which is fucking mind-boggling. We had Kane pulling Punk out over the top rope, eliminating him, and then choke slamming him through a fucking table. So that got the crowd to pop for a second, but then you had more Daniel Bryan chants and more boos because Daniel Bryan wasn't in the ring. You had no chance. Oh, this was the best. Sheamus won for the bro kick, pounding his chest, and instead of chanting bro, people were chanting no. It was fucking hilarious. Eventually, right at the end, when it was Roman Reigns and Batista, people were cheering for Roman Reigns basically because they didn't want to see Batista. If they had to settle, they would settle for Roman Reigns. So they started cheering for Reigns, but it wasn't going to happen. They knew, like, Batista eliminated him. You knew it was going to happen. Boos. Oh, my God. A chorus of fucking boos to end the Rumble match. Huge boos. Daniel Bryan chants when Batista's music hits. No chance when Batista's music hits. This crowd was fucking pissed. So a couple of things here. Kevin Nash. It's real easy to tell Triple H is running this fucking show nowadays because New Age Outlaws are the tag champs. Kevin Nash got a surprise entrant in the Rumble, and Batista won the Rumble and is going on to WrestleMania. Triple H is bringing all his boys back and giving them all the big high spots in the fucking show. I hate it. I fucking hate that shit. This Daniel Bryan thing, it's not something that's going to go away. WWE, I know what they're thinking. They're back there right now thinking that last night Pittsburgh was a bad city. They're coming into a different location tonight. Things are going to be different. Well, they must have had bad fucking cities for the past 5 months, because this has been happening since SummerSlam. So that's longer than 5 months. But people want Daniel Bryan. And last night, I think the general wrestling fan was just expecting that he was going to come out and win the Royal Rumble, because it was plain as day. It was so fucking obvious that there's a storyline right there that has itself written. Daniel Bryan wins, overcomes the corporation, and finally wins at WrestleMania. It writes itself. They don't have to fucking do anything. But no, they go with Batista. If you thought Triple H was pissed because of the crowd chanting Daniel Bryan during his big unification ceremony a little while ago when they were in Daniel Bryan's home state, which is what led to Daniel Bryan being turned heel, because that pissed Triple H off, in my opinion. If you thought Triple H was pissed then, just wait until WrestleMania 30 in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome or wherever the fuck they're going to be. And you have an entire stadium full of people during the main event of WrestleMania, Batista versus Randy Orton, screaming Daniel Bryan, screaming no, booing, chanting boring, this is awful chants. That's what's going to happen at your main event at WrestleMania. I guarantee it. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction right now that starting with tonight's episode of Raw, starting tonight all the way up to and especially including the main event of WrestleMania, anytime that there is a main event title segment, anything to do with the WWE Championship from going forward at this point, and you have Batista out there talking, or Triple H out there talking, or Orton, you are going to get Daniel Bryan chants in every single one. Last night wasn't a bad city for the WWE. They are going to do this everywhere they fucking go from now up until WrestleMania, and including WrestleMania. And I would be legitimately surprised if that did not happen. People they're just tired of it. They're not going to have the WWE put a show on. How much of a fucking asshole is Triple H going to look like when he comes out there and he tries to play out this storyline with people bellowing or Daniel Bryan chants in the background? And he's got to sit there with that silent, pissed off look on his face. Like, how long are they going to let this go on? It's going to be a fucking joke. I'll watch it just so I can laugh my fucking ass off. So yeah, Batista won. Crowd was pissed. There's some rumor that Batista was flipping off fans after the show went off the air because he was upset that they were booing him and chanting Daniel Bryan at him. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, fuck Batista, man. He should, and here's the thing. Because Batista came out and won the Royal Rumble, it doesn't matter what they do now. In the eyes of the fans, they're going to hate Batista all the way up through to WrestleMania because Daniel Bryan didn't win the Royal Rumble. Batista did. So now everybody's going to hate Batista. And the WWE did that. The more they try to hold Daniel Bryan down, the more people are going to cheer for him. The more they will get behind him. That is the position they have put themselves in at this point, the WWE has. And I'm just going to love watching the shows leading up to WrestleMania to see how much asses they make out of themselves. So yeah, I'm excited to watch Raw tonight because I want to see that crowd bury what the WWE tries to put on. I want to see Randy Orton and Batista out there talking with the crowd chanting boring and Daniel Bryan. It's gonna be fucking hysterical. Alright guys, that's it. A lot of stuff I wanted to get off my chest there, so hopefully it wasn't too rambly and it was coherent enough that you guys could follow along. So that's it. JB Squared, 61279 with the Royal Rumble pay-per-view review. Oh, I gotta give this Rumble a grade. Let's see. Best match of the night was the Daniel Bryan match. Cena match sucked hard. Large quantities of dick. Brock Lesnar stuff was okay. A little too repetitive for me. The Rumble match, overall, was fucking disappointing. It was a big fucking disappointment. So I'm going to go ahead and give this pay-per-view a D+. gets a D fucking plus. The only reason it gets it that high is because Daniel Bryan opening match, because it was an awesome fucking match. But one good match on a 3-hour show does not make a great pay-per-view. Alright, now I got that shit taken care of. I will see you guys later on in the week for my Raw review. I can't wait to see this crowd own this company tonight. It's going to be fucking amazing. I'll see you guys then.